Hey guys, it's Rick from Toontrack with Devin Townsend here live from the Toontrack North America offices in Chicago. We are just minutes away from Mr. Townsend beginning the process of writing and recording an original song for you folks this evening and answering as many questions as we can get to as possible.
Totally.
So, with that in mind,
Go.
we've got a couple of questions before we start, Dev.
Yep.
One, again, some questions that I think are great coming in from the folks that are tuned into Twitch already, folks on Twitter. Question. And again, here's the thing. I'm going to try as vigorously as I can to get your screen handles correctly, but when I can't pronounce it, I'm not even going to try. So this is for you whose name I don't want to butcher. What advice do you have, Dev, for musicians that may not be able to play as well and aren't as proficient with the recording process that actually want to record? Where do they start? How do you marry those two things?
I remember the first recording system that I got was an Atari ST years ago. It was like one of the original sort of DAWs that was just based on MIDI. And I didn't know how to use it for like a year and a half. It just sat there and I just kept pissing around with it and just nothing would happen. So I guess the best advice I can give to people is just fail a lot. Because I think at the end of that, it's a great motivator. If you're highly wound as a musician, you don't want people to think of you as a schmuck. It makes the amount of records that I've mixed earlier on specifically that sounded terrible gave me a great motivation to make the next ones not sound that way, right? Sure. So it's all trial and error, and anything I learned was just by working with people that were better than me, and I still do that, actually. It makes it a lot easier.
Go out and fail. That's great.
Go out and fail, boys and girls.
That's where it all starts.
It's true.
So in that same vein, simple question, and this is actually, I'm sure a lot of people want to know this. How much time do you spend playing guitar a day?
Well,
do you even play guitar every day?
Oh, yeah. I play bass more now, but I enjoy them both. It's one of those things where whichever one I'm playing, I think, well, this is my favorite. And then I go to the other one, I'm like, no, wait, this is my favorite. Right. It's like, but I play every day, at least a little bit. And some days it happens all the time. But the process that I do when I'm recording is similar to when I'm playing guitar and bass, in that I don't think about it that much. Like I'll play bass or guitar while I'm watching TV, and a lot of times while I'm editing drums or vocals, I'll have TV shows on.
Sure. And
it's just anything to sort of distract me. And so as a result of that, it still remains something that I'm interested in as opposed to something I feel like I need to do every day, right?
Has it gotten easier? I mean, do you find that picking the guitar up is more discipline-based, like you just kind of alluded to, or more desire-based? Like, I really want to play.
I think that's the thing. When I was 15 or so and I was really invested in learning technical things, it was really more of a discipline thing. But now, because my job is so rooted in my own trip, I see my face all the time, and a lot of the work goes into trying to prevent self-loathing, because you see it so much. It's me, it's my trip, it's DTP and all that. So guitar and bass has become something that I do more of a wind down sort of thing. That's actually where the Casualties of Cool record came from, was just that. I'd come home from doing deconstruction and just play a telly because it was sort of the physicality of having a guitar in my hands late at night, and it sort of calmed me down, and then music stemmed from that. And I think as a result of that, then the process remains rooted in the love of it, as opposed to you're forcing yourself into it. And even when we were talking about DTP earlier and how you're going to make this work, it's less about getting down to writing and more about finding ways to motivate yourself and inspire yourself into ways that at this age and after doing it for so long, I'm still doing it from that perspective, because to not do that doesn't make any sense, right?
Sure. So along those lines of not only just the guitar, but the DAW question we had before, we have someone asking, do you ever write music without an instrument in hand? And then they wrote IE with notation software like Guitar Player Pro, or are you always connected to an instrument when you write, or are there other ways that you write as well?
Well, I think typically it has an instrument involved, but a lot of the ways that I found myself writing is I'll have a song in my head, and whichever instrument is most handy becomes the ways that I articulate it, because when I start a process, it's about sketching it and then elaborating on it. So all my demo sessions in Pro Tools end up being the final sessions.
Sure.
And a lot of times dreams actually come into it as well. Like I'll wake up from a dream and I'll have a song rolling around in my head, and I mumble it into my iPhone. and then I send it to myself and listen to it the next day. And sometimes songs will just wake me up, and I just have to go to the studio and get them out. But really, it's necessity. If I have instruments around, I mean, I've got so much beautiful gear now. It's crazy. But if I didn't have it, I'd still do it.
Right.
You know, and I'd find a way to do it. So.
Well, and that kind of brings me to a couple questions I want to ask, because I'm going to be getting questions all night on my phone. Don't think I'm not paying attention to Devin. I am, but they're sending me texts with all the questions so I can go through them. So, but I've got a couple questions before we start. We're going to get started here in a minute. And the first question seems pretty obvious because we're here and you're here, but I got to ask, just because I don't know that a lot of people have heard the story. Why Toontrack? I mean, why us?
Well, it started. I actually sent you guys a mail in 2007. Sort of sight unseen, because I had purchased some products, and because I'm friends with Fred, and he was one of the guys that started it, he had sent me Drum Kit from Hell. And a lot of the ways that I write, well, the majority of the way I write is vision-based. Like, I have an objective in mind, and then I just have to get there. And I try not to be disrespectful to fellow musicians or rude to people in general, because it doesn't benefit my process to be embroiled in some sort of narcissistic, like, you do this, you do this, you do this. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself. And then I couldn't figure it out at first. And so I sent a mail, and I think it was Matthias or somebody said, oh, if you're Devin Townsend, then we could talk about working together. And through that, I did the first Ziltoid record, which was just an iMac, the very first version of Drum Kit from Hell in the Easy Drummer, and Line 6 pod, and that was it. Well, I had an SM7 for vocals, and just the plugins, and so that's the whole thing. And I find by doing that record, I was able to very quickly get my ideas out, and that ended up sort of snowballing into a relationship with you guys that is very important to me, because my need to do music is a lot more based around my desire to exercise it, rather than to wield power over people or to try and convince people it's this, that, or the other thing. I just need to get it out. And the fastest way I can get it out is the best. And the products that we've been working on together and the things that you guys have done have allowed me in ways that not many other products have. You know, when I say not many, it's limited, well, basically to you guys when it comes to this, right? And I can just pound it out. I can just get my ideas out. And I don't know anybody else that's doing that, and I'm looking for expediency at this point, because, you know, if you leave the ideas in there, they just start to go bad. Yeah. And then everybody in your life suffers as a result, right?
Sure. Okay. Well, I mean, look, we know that you are, in many, many ways, kind of the ultimate archetype of the person that we make software for. I mean, you're the best case scenario of every writer, producer, and for lack of a better term, and certainly no disrespect, it's a great term, bedroom musician, guys that want to sort of take that creative process, to your point, and just really move from point A to point B as quickly and effortlessly as possible.
That's it.
And even though it seems easy in execution, everything that happens behind the scenes.
That's it. And
is
I'm
very
hoping
complicated.
today what we can express together more than anything else is just, you can do it on your own. You like, I've got all sorts of awesome stuff, but you need a guitar, a bass, an instance of Easy Drummer, and a DAW, and you can make a record, right? Yeah. A vocal mic, of course. But it's the process is important, because other than that, I think you can find rationale for not doing it in so many ways. I don't have a good enough studio. I don't have the technical proficiency. I can't play guitar. I mean, everything I do, I'm a master of none. You know, I do everything okay, but you put it together and I can get my ideas out, which is the only thing that I'm trying to do. Right. And I was going to say, you know, thank you for the compliment as well, but I mean, it really is my pleasure, my honor to be here. And thank you so much to everybody who's paying attention to this, right? Even if you don't dig what I do musically, I think that there's something that can come from the process that will allow people to sort of see that there is no reason why you can't do it yourself. And yeah, should we start?
Well, yeah, let me give everyone the precursor. Okay. You go ahead, turn around, you get yourself dialed in. So, ladies and gentlemen, children of some ages, we're going to begin this process. And the reason Devin's so quick to start is I need everyone to kind of tune in and listen. We're giving him 2 hours to basically put together a concept and an idea that's just not what we would consider like a B string thing. This is the real deal, right? And 2 hours is not a lot of time. It seems like a lot of time.
It isn't.
But there's a number of things going on here.
Yeah.
And the first one of those things, just to remind everyone, is we've integrated Devin as much as we can into our studio here in Chicago. So, pardon me, he's come in with what little gear he could ship or travel with and tried to match up gear that we already have here, including software, dollars, and everything else. I gave a disclaimer earlier in the broadcast. I'm going to give it again. This is really happening live, all this work. So guess what? Computers crash live, VIs don't open, sound cards fade in or out, technical difficulties happen. When they do, I think
that happens.
And as I say that, I look at the screen and the screensaver just came up. I panicked for a second because the screens went black. Things just went all Star Wars on us. We're fine.
Yeah, it happens. It's going to happen to you too while you're doing these things.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So what we're going to do, the process is going to be really simple. I'm about to get up and get out of here. Devin's going to take over. 2 things you need to understand if you're watching along at home. He's going to be working in Pro Tools, right? Mm-hmm. He's going to have his headphones on when he's actually performing and recording. So no noise is actually coming through the monitors in the room, and the audio feed is going straight out to you folks so that it can be as high quality as possible. And every half hour, 20 minutes, wherever it seems right, we're going to kind of come in and interrupt this process because we're jerks, and we're going to ask questions that you guys submit. So not only are we asking him to do the impossible in 2 hours, but then we're going to interrupt him constantly with things that you guys want to know.
Let's do it.
Sounds like we should get going. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mr. Devin Townsend.
Okay, guys, we ready to do this?
Just about, actually.
Okay.
We're going to do one quick.
While he's doing this, I'm just going to give you guys, we're live right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give you I just want to shout out, it's such a horrible word. The companies that have allowed me to do this, the sort of intermediate level prog metal thing that I do, it's sort of a struggle in a lot of ways, but the one thing that is just brilliant is the amount of people that support me. So I'm just going to give a rundown of what has been happening gear-wise and what I'm going to do. Today I'm using Pro Tools, which is my main DAW. I love Cubase, I love Logic and Ableton and all that. I use Pro Tools just because it's a language I'm familiar with. The guitar that I use, Framus, I use them exclusively now. I don't use anything else. We're doing a signature model, comes out at NAMM. This is the one I'm using here. Beautiful, unbelievable guitars. Evertune Bridge, love that too. This is a prototype of the Fishman pickup, which does 3 sounds. It's got a heavy metal sound, it's got a single coil passive sound, it's got a single coil humbucker sound. That's being released at NAMM as well, and I can sort of utilize that. The actual final ones are up there, but I had to deal with a bunch of other stuff, so they're not in as well. I use Axe Effects for my amps. The new Quantum firmware is phenomenal. I use 2 of them. I'd tell you why, but it's just probably excess on my point because I can't seem to change my ways. Daniel at the company Gig Rig made this pedal board for me, and there's a ton of amazing companies that I'm working with pedals. All this stuff today is brand new, so I'm sort of integrating it as we go. I use a ton of different types of basses. I love playing bass. I use Warwick and Sadowski and Ernie Ball, but the 2 companies that I'm working with now for 2 very different things, and I love them both. Zon, who does a really it's a Zeracode top with a poplar body, Bartolini pickups, Aguilar preamp, a composite neck, really fast, great in the mix, and Sandberg, which is a lot more of the vintage sort of sound, and they're just brilliant, beautiful guitars as well. I use Diodario strings, Dunlop picks, as well as a host of other Dunlop products, and Erlund mics is a Swedish microphone that I've gotten from Morgan and Matthias and a Swedish chef there that have set us up. What else can I do before we get into this? I'm sure I've missed a bunch of it, but I'm going to start. So basically, guys, I'm going to put my headphones on. I'm going to do this. I'm going to try and talk my way through it as we go so you can sort of see what we do. But we got to start. So here we go. So what I did with this whole thing as well prior is I realized that 2 hours is going to be very difficult for me to go into it sight unseen and try and put together ideas straight out of the gate. So what I did was I strung together some riffs, and I gave myself this afternoon a couple of preliminary drum ideas to go with it on. I'm going to start from scratch so you can sort of see how the process goes, but just keep in mind that for the sake of time, I've had to sort of do some things ahead of time. I feel like it's the Bob Ross Joy of Painting here, your Carillion Blue and your all the other stuff going on here. All right, so where am I here? So I'll turn on this wireless here. That's the other one, line 6. All right, so is that on? Let's see. So basically how I've got it set up here with these pickups is that's the heavy metal sound. And then we're going to have it set up so when you want to do your clean sound, you just flip it to your single coil, and then you get your... So basically I've been looking for a guitar and a pickup combination that does everything in one. And when I say that this is the only guitar that I use and these are the pickups that I'm using, I truly mean it. You know, I'm so sick of the endorsement thing when you do things for the sake of, you know, exposure rather than the fact that I've got a point B that I'm trying to get to here. Okay, so first thing that I do when I record, yes, sir.
Sorry, we're not getting audio from the computer.
Aren't you? Okay. There we go. Now you getting it? You getting it now?
Yep.
All right. Let's start that again. So. So let's do that again. So there's basically an example of the heavy sound. And then when we go to, let's see, this one here, then I flip it to the single coil sound and you get the... So that's it. Now, I'm going to focus my energies on showing you guys how I do this stuff. So when I'm writing a song, first thing I do is I come to the table with the riffs that I'm wanting to do. So there's the main riff. The verse is going to be a clean sound where I'm going to strum that with a different sound. Then the pre-chorus, I thought it would be cool to do. And then go back to the main riff there, riff A, let's call it, for the main chorus as well. And then the midsection, I was thinking like a totally different sound, but then something that was like... So that's basically the riffs that I've got for the song. So what I would do first is in Pro Tools here, I open up this dialogue here, and there's a way for me to get my tempo. And I know it's 160, but this is how I would typically do it. I play it, I'm like... So that's kind of how I managed to get that at first. Oh, no wonder I was on the wrong preset. There we go. There's my heavy sound. That's better. Sorry. So 160, we'll put it in. But that's how I start with that. And then I just let the click play. Let's see. All right, I forgot. I got to set my click to the sound that I like. There we go. That's the first thing we're going to stick with. There is, oh, I saw it there, actually. So there it is. Stick, click, accent, classic click. What is it? Marimba I'm looking for, I think. Bells, blocks, wood block, classic. I think I'm going to stick with whatever's here. Marimba! Yeah, screw you, not marimba. But it looks like this here. Oh, I see how they've got it in this new one. Okay, so do it like this. So there's no accent. Yeah, so that's how I've got it all the time. When we're doing it live as well, I never have an accent. That way I can sort of do 3/4 or 6/8 or whatever the time signature requires without being distracted by that and having to program it in. So this is my zoom in. Usually give it about 8, and then I just do one pass through the whole song. Let's see if I can do that. Oh, I don't have it set up to do it like that either. Oh, you bastard. Okay, I'll do that in the break. For the time being, this is record. Start. Because I know that's where the verse is. So that's how I would start. So during that, of course, it's rough, and I'm sort of trying to figure out where the parts go and what the parts do. Let me just build this up here. I'll do this now too, real quick. I'm going to go into the preferences that they've got here and see if I can change the keyboard ones so I can do punching the way that they do shortcuts. Is that it? Let's see. Text, input sources, keyboard. Go back to this one. Use all, show, standard function keys, FNQ. Okay, so let's not do that. No, let's not do that. Let's see if that works. Let's see. No. Oh well, fuck it. I'll do it another way. So basically, I start like this, and so now the idea would be to start illustrating it. So what I've done is I've made with Superior Drummer my own kit. So that's the kick that I came up with. That's the snare. I mean, I like that ring in the snare. Some people really aren't into that, but I kind of dig that. And so basically, I'll show you how I came up with this part earlier today. Go into Grooves, and I've got this set up. So you see how each one of these is set. You've got the kit, and then within the kits, these drummers, all these different drummers, have made MIDI loops, and you can audition them here, for example. So what I do is I sketch it out first. So in this case, let's expand that a bit. I'll just drag it in. Like there's my first MIDI loop. And so that first thing is a slide, right? Oh, it's because I changed that standard thing. Now I'm opening that one as well. Oh, I'm like, and now I'm opening that one. What the heck's wrong with me? All right, I'm gonna get this together, guys. When you see how efficient I am in a second, I want to use the F1 keys, you dick. I don't want to use that. Inspirato, cock. All right, so there we go. Now does this work when I go to my different tools up here? Yeah, there you go. That's how we do it in the old home front of Canuck land. Okay, so there. I just put in any sort of loop, right? But then again, it's like, because that's actually the chorus. Let's try this one. Let's try that one instead. All right. And then right here is where the verse starts. So let's just, for the time being, we'll go into what they've done with Imploder. Sure, that sounds good. And so here will be a verse beat, right? That's where and then the next thing, which is my pre-chorus. So I don't know, I'll just randomly try this one. Let's see. Variation 3. Sure, so let's take Variation 3. And now it looks like that would start on the beat. And then to the chorus again. So this is what we're using for the chorus. So I'll just copy this for now. You know. And that chorus goes to the end here. And so I'll just, again, it's all about roughing it in at this point. And then I'll show you how that ends up working once you start to refine it. And this is the reason, again, why these sessions of mine just ends up being the final thing, right? Okay, so bridge. I guess that's it. Let's see. Variation 1. Sure. See, a lot of it for me is not second guessing it as well. I think that's really, if I was going to give advice to people, that would be it. Okay, so there's a change here. Right there. So there, let's try this one. Sure. All right. So. All right, so basically, is this stalling now? Oh, it quit unexpectedly. Yeah. Okay, so watch this. This is what I do. Oh, Adele. Do you know she's got a new record out? It's one of my favorite things, Adele. She's singing about her new boyfriend now, and that's one of my favorite parts of Adele's trip is the fact that she's over it. So basically, what I do is within Pro Tools, because of the way that I get my stuff working, I've got my preference set so it auto backs up every minute. But I might change that to every 5 minutes as well, because sometimes while I'm editing, that actual 1 minute interval, you catch it in the middle of, and that's what shuts it down. But no matter which software I'm working with, I crash it like a maniac. And I think what I'm looking to do ultimately is to find a way to have a really quick recovery time, and ultimately software in general that doesn't break down and give me thousands of dollars worth of debt. Anyway, don't come in, guys. I got this. Okay, so then I go to my open session. I know my session's on the desktop. Is that not? Yeah, stars is what I called this. Session file backups. And I go today, 543. No, we're going to look for the one that's earlier. Is there a recovered one? Where was this one? This is where it was, wasn't it? Oh, no, because I named it something different. Where are we here? Stars. Toontrack 1.2 recovered, 640, 720. I'm just going to do that one because, yeah. So this is going to happen consistently, and you're going to love it. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to assume that I've gotten to the end of that drum track, and I'll show you what happens next. See, this is me improvising. What do you think of that? That's how I roll, guys. I'll go through things crashing. I'll go through things up and down. Part of my life's work is to make a mockery of my own process by saying, when this happens to you, all you've got to do is just kneel deep into your mortal soul and realize that worse shit has happened to better people. And there it is, right where we were. What?
We got to reload the desktop presenter so people can see your actual screen.
Okay, go for it.
So someone's coming in to do that.
Okay.
That's going to be me. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nick, can you also
We only got 2 hours, guys. This is going to be great. Okay, so you want to put that up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, the next thing that I'm going to do while he's doing it, go for it. So the next thing that we do while I'm doing this is I basically, once I get my drums together and I rough it out such as that, then I open it up, I consolidate it into one MIDI file, and then I go through and then wherever I've heard an accent that I've been doing on the guitar, then I'll start to illustrate it on the keyboard, and I'll show you that in a second there. So, oh, so you're force quitting Pro Tools too?
Oh no, I think you should.
Sweet.
UAD meter.
leave that open.
Leave that open. All right. This is
Everything else is good?
Thank you. All right. No worries. Okay, so basically, if you guys can see this again, which I'm assuming you can, I get to the end, and then I go back and I listen to it, right? So I'll consolidate it here together. Actually, for the sake of this, let's not. I'll double-click it, and I'll open up this here. And then as I'm listening through, so it looks like this 2-bar section here, I'm doing that twinkly thing. So what I might do is I might go and like get some twinkles here. So what is that? So ding, 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 something like that, right? Right, and I'll do that to the end, and then what else here? And then let's do, for example, there I hear a crescendo on the toms, so let's hear. So if I've got this set up, so basically Superior is loading these sounds as we go, so it's not as big a taxing, not as taxing on the resources. All right, because we're doing it with this, right? Okay, watch this. See, with all the elegance of a newborn mule. So we go and find that there. See, that's where I did that. As you can see, perfectly in time. And I quantize the shit out of that, all right? See. It looks like that one's off. And then I'll get rid of these guys, right? And there's my, oh, I just hit eject, right? And then I know that on that first hit, we're gonna wanna add a kick and then a cymbal smash. Right, so there's, for example, then we'll change that one, so that's a cymbal smash, right? And there's that thing that we did there that I didn't finish. Basically what I'm trying to show you here is if I had the time to go through the entire drum track, this is the process that I would employ. Right, and then I'd add that one there. Okay, so that gives you an idea of how I would do that. So let's assume, like it was a cooking show, that I'm putting it in the oven now, and then I'm pretending that I have done all this, but I actually went through earlier and I made a drum track, but that's the same way that I did it, right? Okay, so the next step, let's move on from here. I got this shitty scratch guitar track. So the first thing I would do is I would put down rhythm guitar tracks. So I've made a template here in Pro Tools, and this is the reason why I can move so quickly as well, typically, is because this template is the same for everything that I do. I've got the click, I've got an instance of Superior, my rough guitar tracks, a bass track, I've got a clean track, I've got the easy mix where I've got the presets that I made and some ambient presets that they've got, tracks for 12-string guitar, tracks for acoustic guitar, fuzz guitar, echo guitar as I call them, the GP, a piano, a keyboard, and then all these vocal tracks, right? Verse, pre-chorus, all these sorts of things, right? So basically, what I will do now is I'll mute this guy because he sucks, and then I keep the echo in just because it's like fun to play with. So let's track our first guitar here. So this is input 5, is it? Right. All right, so for the sake of time as well, I'm going to do some copy and pasting here. And so from the top. Okay, so why isn't that recording? Because I've got to figure out how to do that. Oh, there we go. Okay, then I double it. I used to do 4 guitar tracks for rhythm, but I find that it's a bigger sound for me personally if I just do 2. So let's see what we got here. So if you notice as well, I've got 8 inputs. That's what I got in any studio. I like to try and keep it as basic as possible. The guitars for heavy are always going to be 5/6, which is Axe Effects 1. Effects is 3/4. Vocals are 1. Direct is 2 for like any instance that needs a direct sound. And keyboards are 7 and 8. So let's see if we do the second guitar track here. I like to try and make the edits as I go too. It saves time. I know I screwed up the beginning, so let's try and get that. There's a squeak on the first track I want to get. I know there's a lot of echo. Let me turn that down.
Devin Townsend.
Yes, sir.
I have one question to interject.
Go.
We have people asking if when you get to the final version of this song,
Yeah.
it's going to be fractals, amp models, or live amps.
Fractals.
Fractals.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I haven't actually thought about that yet. But yes, fractals. All right. All right, so let's see here. Who knows? I guess that's the thing. I never know. Yeah, in terms of fractals, live amps, I mean, I don't know. I never know until later, I guess. It's like, that's kind of how the nature of it works, is you just kind of make it up as you go. So now what I would do is, let's copy this. So I select the whole thing, and then I go to the next chorus. I know there's a chorus at the end. All right. All right, okay. Because I wanted to do that differently. So it actually starts here. Okay, so I had chopped a bar off. So let's do that. And then at the end, does it keep going? Okay, so that's the end. And I'm thinking we're going to have a sort of Faith No More-y like outro piece there. And then this bit here, which it looks like because I chopped a bit out. Okay, so I'll take half of that and we'll use that. Let's see. So it goes. And then hear them call. All right, and so let's take this, and then we'll put that leading up to it. All right, so that's where the stop is. Okay, that's where it was, okay. Okay, so there's the basic choruses. Now, I'm going to use this sound for the pre-chorus as well, so let me add that. Stay through worse, stay through worse. Stay. So, okay, so I can't do it like that. That's weird. Why would you not know how to do it? All right, let's just go ahead and think that that's our pre-chorus. And again, it's just a quick song. I mean, it's like proggy stuff at this point is kind of out of the question, right? With the time limit that we got. So let's see how this goes. Again. So yes, sir.
Very quick question.
Go.
We're getting a million people asking what drum set you are using in Superior Drummer. Do you know?
This is one that I've made, and you can have it when I'm done. We'll put it up for you.
There you go. Uncle Devin built a drum kit for you.
So in this case, I know that that first chunk I did, I really like. So I'm going to use that. Doesn't work on the last one. Okay, but I'll use it there. Okay, so there's the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus happens once. Now the midsection is a different sound. So what's the best route for me to do? Should I try a different? Yeah, let's do this. So there's my basic rhythm track. So there's another sound that I'm going to use for the midsection. Again, you're building off of a bass, right? And so let's see, 5/6. It's 5/6. Yeah, that's where the main fractal is. Okay. So there's just a sort of rough sound that I've made here based on their preset called The Abyss, I guess, or Abyss. And so I just... So it's just a big washy kind of reverby sound. If you've got a fractal, it's called Abyss or The Abyss. So I'm going to sketch in this midsection with that sound. I just got to figure out how to play it. So... That's a slut. Then so then let's see if I can just go from it from here. Oh, I know why, because we don't have quick punch on. See, it's a different system, right? So where are you? Quick punch, there you go. All right, so now I should be able to punch in while I'm doing that. All right. Okay, so this part here, I want to have a big stop because I got an idea for a reverb thing there. All right. So this is going to go. You know what? Just because we're here and because we're being dicks, let's just do something fun with that just to sort of imply something for later. So slow down. See how that sounds. Oh, it's so lame. Okay, but at least it knows that that happens. Shut up, Dev. All right, so midsection. Oh, bad. There, my fingers decided that no, we're not going to play that. Okay, so that's where it was. Okay, so let's do that again. I gotta get the echo prior. Let's try. Those are the parts of recording that turn up to be improv, right? You just kind of go with it every now and then. I know that, for example, the first half of that didn't totally suck, so should go up there. And what I'll do is through jam, and I know that that's why I play prior to it as well, because the echoes, unless you do the note before it, sounds really choppy. So. Oh, right, that's where it was. Okay, so there's my framework for the midsection with this abyss sound. And then I'll sort of duck it. I use a lot of echo a lot of the time, obviously, but a lot of the times I do it because I can interact with it. It becomes improv in that way as well. So let's go back to my main heavy sound. Okay, and then let's see. So I wanted to do something maybe in the second half that starts being a little crunchier, like chun 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 chun. So you put it on input here and jam with it. You know, you can loop it if you want to, but let's not, because that would be. Right. Do that. So basically, So at this point, then I'll back up those edits. Let's see, I gotta make time here. Okay, so we'll double this one now, and then the next thing we'll do is the octaves over the main parts of the melody. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Let me put it in record, that'll make it a lot easier. See, for me, I'm so used now to this Evertune bridge, it just makes it so much easier for me to record where I don't have to check my tuning. Okay, so now let's move on here. Again, make time, save, Dev, save. All right, so I'm going to do another one of those sort of washy guitar tracks, and I hear in the chorus the same thing up an octave, basically, but just like the parts that'll work. So 3, 4. So here's my echoey sound. All right, so basically it's it's a gross sound, but that's what I use, right? And all right, damn the torpedoes.
Devin Townsend.
Yes, sir.
We're getting a lot of comments on how your guitar tone and the drum sound already sound like a finished record, and the underlying question is, how much help does that add to your creativity, hearing the sounds the way they are?
Total. That's why the presets are good. That's why this template is good, because I hate saying, oh, we'll fix it later. Like, just get it now. I mean, I don't have the time to do a lot of the editing that I want to do now, but it's like, if I don't hear it right, going back to the first question, if you hear it right, then you can know whether or not it's just shit, right? So, just
Great job. Keep it up.
All right, thanks. All right. There it is. All right. 5, 6, 7, 8. remember that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, at that point I know I've got the first half, so let's do that for the sake of time. Are we on grid? Yes, all right, so right here, right? Let's see. So, and then halfway point, I guess, is that. That'll be it, yeah? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so there. So there, I guess. No, it's there, okay. So let's just put a tail on there to go into the verse. Let it fade out. At that point, I can get away with that tail. So let's just do that. Is that where it starts? No, it'd be at that. Let's cut that. Let's clean the intro because we're going to have to do that eventually. Same with here, tab to transient. And let's cut that. All right. So now I've got that saved. Now we'll do here as well while we're at it. So 4, this is the octave GP, let's see. Oh, that's right, we did that on the other. You see you in the stars tonight. Alright, so here, this is a pre-chorus. I hear something going dun dun da da dun dun da da. So dun da da dun dun da da da. Dun dun da da dun dun da da da. Bum bum ba da bum bum ba da ba. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Dun dun ba da bum bum ba da. Dun dun da da da. fucking time, you dumb shit. Dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, da. There we go. Okay. Dun, 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 da, da, dun, dun, da, da. Oh, I just thought of the time. Don't do that because then you're gonna. I know what I'll do to make up for it. So we go. All right, so we're gonna run into time problems. So I am going to start pounding here. So let's see, what we need is at the end there, we need to add a fuzz. So I've got a fuzz set up here. So sick. All right, so let's go for a fuzz here in that breakdown. So it'd be like a, all right, let's try that again. So. Add a tail on that. That's got a sustain so we can. Alright, so at that point we'll do that edit, we'll double that, and then I'm going to have to cheat on the piano. I'll show you that next. Alright, so let's pan these out left, right, next. Alright. Do the fade on that now, because if I don't do that now, it's going to piss me off till the end of the song. All right, so there's that, there's that. I've got an auxiliary for the fuzzes here, and it's 25, 26. Okay, so moving on. So say I've got these set up here, and I went through these earlier today because I knew I was going to run into time problems, and I don't want you to not see the end of the song. So basically, I do the piano exactly the same way I do with Easy Drummer, except for I arm it. I've made a preset here with, strangely, a shit ton of reverb on it. Yeah, there's me, the piano player, see? It must be some mistake. I asked for a lot of reverb, right? But we're gonna run out of time, guys, so forgive me here. There, bam, I played piano. All right, so it would go in like this. That's my OCD right there. It has to be 2.6 or the world will end. All right, so we need a verse. So I'm gonna go here, Easy Mix. I made a whole bunch of presets with them. So this is going direct. So all these sounds now are the Easy Mix stuff directly. And what have I got? Let's take that fuzz off here. So A12 should be my inputs, and the reason it isn't is because I don't have output 3 of the note. There we go. All right. All right, so These are the pack that I had made for Toontrack. You can get it. It's Gods of Guitar or something equally as embarrassing. All right, so Axe clean. Let's do this. I need to get a clean sound, right? So what's this? Okay, that's another Easy Mix pack. All right, so Easy Mix is a plug-in product that Toontrack makes that a lot of people have contributed to that gives you these things. I've contributed to it, Andy Sneap, Randy Staub, like tons of people. And so what I need to do now is find some clean sounds. You know what? Let's do this. Let's put down this guitar and let's go to one of the other guitars here. And we'll start with an acoustic. I think an acoustic would work well. So here's what I do when I do vocals, when I'm doing acoustic. I tried to pre-tune this, but it's some Epiphone that was here that you can drive a truck under the 12th fret here, so it might be a little pitchy. I use the same vocal mic for everything. I use it for acoustic, any acoustic instruments, because, you know, there's no time, right? So here we go. This is how I mic my acoustic. I put it on the desk. All right, so where's my acoustic tracks? Acoustic, right. So piano's done. Acoustic, we're doing the verse, right? There we go. And I'm going to say that's a good sound because I don't have time to not say that. All right, so close enough for horseshoes. So let's do two of those. Not close enough for horseshoes. That's going to be a bit pitchy. All right, that's the way the guitar is. I shouldn't sing though. Holy shit, that was me. So let's double that, and then we'll clean it. I'm going to get rid of that whoa, because that literally made me shit my pants. Literally, there's shit in my pants right now. All right, so number 2 here. 97, come now. All right. Okay, so the intonation on this guitar is whack in C because I'm in open C tuning, C, G, C, G, C, E, and there's nothing I can do about that right now. So I do know, however, that this open chord isn't good, so I'll use this part. So what I'm going to do, that's really bad, but fuck it. All right, so that's your solution. Everything has to be exactly 2.6 down, yet when it's viciously out of tune, fuck it. There's your solution. All right, so that's going to be in the background. This guitar is a little whack, so I'm going to say that that is the acoustic track. Isn't that great? Isn't that nonchalant to me? That's not going to bug me, is it? Absolutely not. Yes, it is. All right, so the ending here, this is where it is. Let's cut this. And I know that this is giving me some noise in the other track. This is why I do it as I go, because like you say, you want it to be rewarding right away, or else there's just no reason to, you know, continue. There's no reason to go on. All right. All right, so that's the beginning of it. All right, so here we go. All right, 12 string. So.
Devin Townsend.
Yes.
While you're doing this,
yes,
I'm stepping in to tell you that we have a bunch of questions, but it's already almost an hour in.
I get it.
So we're going to leave the questions till the end when you're done.
Sounds great.
Rock on.
Yep.
Ignore me. It's all good.
Done.
Love you.
You too,
See you soon.
buddy.
Okay.
Me and Rick hanging out. All right. Hanging out. All right, 12 string. Where are we here? 12 string. Yeah, right. So what was it? It's 12 string 2, is it? That's because I don't have anything plugged into it. So what I need to do is take this one that I'm going to use for the bass, which is going to be, it's going to be 2 is my input. And I'm going to balance this on my knee, as we do in Canada. I'm even going to, fuck it, you know, want to see something like, want to see nonchalant? Yeah, whatever. Oh, that's not going to work though. All right, I'll do it like this. Okay. And I'll change this to B. All right, so 12 string. Done. Perfect. All right, so we're going to go back to here. Oh, that's not the first. We are going to double the shit out of that. So if you notice with the 12 string, I'm also using Easy Mix. So what it's recording is a direct signal. So that's why the level is so low. Oh, you bastard. All right. Great, perfect, done, love it. All right, so next, let's do bass. So I've got all my presets set up in the Fractal, and I made a quick one. This is the first I've tried this on. It's an amazing instrument, but it's brand new to me, so let's see if I can make this work in some way, shape, or form. This thing's a beast. It's awesome. All right, so how are we gonna do this? We're gonna plug this in. How did you think about this? Right, because you've got this set up on your line 6 wireless, and let's see, what are you doing? You're pimping gear, because that's what you do when you make prog metal. Right, guys? Woo! I love it, though. Holy crap. I got everything, all those toys I always wanted. Oh, take that keyboard. I hated that keyboard. All right, so we want to go to this preset that I put together, Dev Bass. Okay, so am I in tune here? Let's see. I'm going to go with yes. All right, and we want to get rid of the Maxon. All right, so let's see. See? This bass came in standard tuning, and it's low C, so any instrument that you do it to, it's a bit of a grace period. Grace bass, before they're just like, yeah, I'll play ball with you. But for now, let's just assume that, all right, so, let's see. All right, so I'm on 12th string, that's why it sounds like that. So I gotta go to the thing for bass. Here's the thing for bass. All right, so I'm gonna make up a part. Woo! Oh, wow, yeah. All right. I don't like that tuning. right? Oh, that should be C. Okay, that shouldn't be a, all right. I'll do that in a minute. In the stars tonight, lost in love and light. And we witness the immortal ride, lost in love and light. Oh, that's right there. Okay, let's do it. So that's how I basically, I mean, it takes me a long time to figure out a bass part, but we don't have a lot of time. So that's too loud. And the beginning there, that part in the end of verse 2 needs to both be a C as opposed to going to that resolve. So it's here, I think. Right there. So where's the C? Oh, it's that shitty chord on the acoustic. All right, so where's that bass that's plunking around like a bucket with the thing in it that plunks? All right, so where's the C? Right there. So let's go 1, 2. Okay, so we need that. All right, so right. So we'll go right here, right? So we'll go C, 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 C. All right, we're gonna do that on the 12-string 2, wherever the hell that was. I don't remember. 12-string. I didn't record those vocals earlier. You did. All right, so where's 12-string? Did I lose it? Did I put it somewhere else? Did I record over it? No, I didn't, did I? I can't find it. Acoustic, acoustic. If someone there is going, it's right there, you idiot. 12-string. Did I record over it? I didn't record over it. There it is. Yeah. Dick. All right, so these ones also go in the second one. And that's what does that thing. Right. Okay, I get it now. And so that's a C, and it's 2 things. Oh, just put that anywhere. Okay, so there. And then we're going to take 2 beats of it, and we're going to repeat that at the end. Okay. We're there. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so let's put down a bass. And, all right, so let's do this. Some sort of bass. And the reason it isn't recording is because I did that thing again with Spotlight. Why would you not have it set up the way I do it? All right. All right. If I don't get that first note, then I am not going to be able to capture it. What time is it? 8:14. We got to fucking go. Okay. All right. So get the bass done, then start vocals, Dev. You did the Triton earlier, but you need to explain how that goes. Okay. Go back to the beginning, you dick. All right. Oh, you are being mean to me. No, let's see. You're personifying something. Louder to vibe. All right. And here we go. Tracking. Committing. Right, next. Wasn't the best. Wasn't the best performance, but let's just go with that because we have no options. Okay, so with the same MIDI that I had recorded all the other stuff with, I did it on the piano, I did it in the same process that I used with the drums. You go through, you scratch it out, and then you edit it with the MIDI screen open like that. Then what I do is I take that same piano, right? Same piano MIDI, this guy here, and let's consolidate it. So now we've got that we could transfer to other ones. So I made an Omnisphere patch. I've never used this. I usually use the Expand, but I guess this is a new version of Pro Tools. So let's just see what sounds like. Wow! It's a horror show. All right. That is brutal. All right, so is there any other sounds in this thing? Probably. I just don't know how to use it. So let's see. Oh! Okay, what is this? Visualizer, info, orb. No, it still sucks. Okay, default. Let's see what we got in this. All right. Glorious guitars. No such thing. Body snatcher. Shredder head. Nope. Nippon planetary love. Let's see. Sure. Let's use that. Let's add a bunch of echo to it because hell, echo is yummy. What's he got? Echo boy. That's me. All right, so there we go. Let's use that one. Echo time, mix. Let's turn that down. Feedback. Sure. Now let's add a reverb to it because that's what we do in Canada, apparently. We add our verb to everything. Let's bring the wet dry down there. Put a happy tree in the corner there. All right, so see what we got. More verb. Connection lost. Your connection is lost. Oh, we have none. Oh, well, we have no time, so let's fuck with it. Connected. See, you're psyching me out, you dumb piece of shit. All right, so let's see if that works somewhere. Now I know that they don't have Motu, so what I did was I took that same thing and I went home and I made a patch with Motu, and then I used the same MIDI on that. So I'm putting that in now so I can start vocals, or else we're never gonna get this done. All right, so here's my Motu patch that I made. Let's see. All right, so let's make the... All right, so, see, I've got vocals. I'm just gonna show you how I do them though, because that is stupid for me to not show you. Okay, so basically what I do when I'm tracking vocals, I have one sound, and then I have on each group of vocal tracks, they're sent to an auxiliary. Each one of the tracks has a de-esser in it. That way I can use a fair amount of compression in, which I find gratifying to sing with. And then I just keep moving them down. I don't listen to it to the end. I send an auxiliary to yet another echo. And then I add a compressor and a gate on it because of the amount of high end that I end up putting on it. So, vocals. Ready, Dev? No. Okay, do it anyway. You bet. Okay, so let's see. Vox 1. Vox. That's what us cool kids call it. There I am. Hey! Hey, this is how I sing. So, lyrics. Oh, God. All right. I got 40 minutes. I can see, I can see me. I was saying they should have filmed me from below, so it's like a Skype call where you're all chins. I'm not old. Fuck you. Okay, so now there's a camera in my face. I'm hyper aware of that, but I'm going to let it go right now because I am not in my room. I'm actually talking to a bunch of people. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you too. It's nice to see you. Hey, you like this guitar? Let me tell you, that guitar rules, and so do you. Be happy. Be nice to yourself, and give your mom a call. And as a result of that, these lyrics are very positive. Connected, see? Fates are with us, boys and germs. Girls, wow, that is misogynistic. Stop it. I can see it in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. I can see you in... I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this call as we witness the immortal rise of light, lost as love right, so the keyboard keeps saying connected, unconnected, but we're doing it. So. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness the immortal rise, lost as love arrives. Hear this call. First one should be calling. Oh, don't have a keyboard. Fuck it. That's how we improvise. And one more time. Calling is the second one, I think. Hear this. No, call is the first one. Calling is the... Call is the second. Calling is the first. All right. I don't need a keyboard. Suck. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost as love and lost in love and light. Hear this calling as all. We need that. Mortal rise, lost in. All right. I can see you in the stars tonight, sharp tonight. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness the immortal light, lost as love arrives. Hear this call. And no keyboard? I got no keyboard, right? No, I got no keyboard. All right, so
Time out.
how do we do that?
Well, if you need to turn the keyboard, you need to power it back up.
Yeah, I think maybe the batteries are dead or something.
You're moving out of the Bluetooth signal.
Am I?
Don't blame it on the batteries.
I'm. It isn't. It's
I'm
screwed
gonna
up.
reconnect it. You
I
know
know
what?
I gotta go. Come on, Rick.
Come
I
on,
gotta
we're gonna
go.
be fine. I'll give you the time you get back.
I'm connecting to mortal
For the
love.
love
Shit.
of, you are mortal.
Fuck
I
yeah.
am so.
You ready? Did
mortal.
you fix it? I hope you did. I got a mouthful of nuts now.
There it is. Bam.
Hey, let's do another one. Everybody's
Leave it right
seen it.
there.
You know it's doing this. If it doesn't do it
Totally.
again, it's Rick's fault.
It's not my fault.
Yeah, man.
Mwah.
I'm gonna have a nut break. 8:27, boys and girls. We're gonna fucking do this. All right. Those are good nuts. Pistachios. The king of all nuts. So I hear. It's gonna be good for singing. Oh yeah. If you're singing, you shouldn't eat nuts. Okay. So what I do a track, and usually by the time I get to the fourth one, my voice has figured out what it's doing, then I redo the first one. I bring it down here, mute it, and I just move on. I do 4 of them. Nuts. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light, lost as love arrives. Hear this call. See? Doesn't work. Keyboard's a piece of shit. That's all right. It's connected now. I'm going to go for it while it's letting me. All right. So fuck it. Down there. Stay connected with me, keyboard. It didn't. That's all right. I don't even care. Watch this. Take that, dick. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light, lost as love arrives. Hear As you see, I brought the first one down a bar ahead, but it has to be redone anyway, so whatever. All right, so back it up, back it in. Let me begin.
I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love.
Lost in love and life. All right.
Oh, you fucking dick. Stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal right line.
Is it calling? It should be, yeah. What? Come on. Oh, you dick. And here's where I want you, and go.
Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light. Lost and love arrives. Hear this call.
All right, so looks like I did call on the other ones, but we can fix that. So let's redo that first one. That's hawked. All right.
I can.
Oh, that is so lame. Come on, react.
I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light. Lost in love and light. Hear this call.
Connected. I know there's people are using PCs are like, well, if you were using a PC, that would never fucking happen, bro. Yeah, it would. Computers suck. All right, so I'm going to assume that I got that right, and there's going to be my main vocal because we don't have time to assume otherwise. And the auxiliary I've got a 300-500 echo with a high pass on it to get rid of low end, and I've got a, what else have I got? Let's hear it. Connection lost! Connection lost! All right, I'll do it this way then. Whatever. Okay, so I want to add a compressor to it because I compress the shit out of it. And why is it doing it? I'm not going to worry about it. See, that's the thing, Dad. That's your test. If you start freaking out about it now, you're going to get distracted. If you get distracted, you won't finish in time, and then you're going to lose the Devin Townsend challenge. All right, so somewhere in here is, it's probably because it's in, why is it? Dynamics. I'm looking for that one that I always use. See, there's too many plugins. See, I don't have any plugins. I don't like lots of plugins. Inactive, that's what happened because now it's active. I just use the default and it scrunches it. So there we go. Try it, everyone. Lost is love in life. Hear this call. All right, so the harmony would be. Come on, what would be the harmony? I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light. Lost in love aright. Hear this call. I will change those lyrics eventually, but for the sake of today, that's what it is, right? And that harmony is also a little weird, but let's go with it. So, I can see you in. Or should I not go up there? Let's not. If you don't go up, it creates a tension. Oh, why is it not just go back to there, Dick? Nice. I can see you in. put a filter on that. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal light. Too many lights. Too many lights. All the night. But if you say rise and it ends up being a religious connotation, I'm not into that either. Is calling. For tonight, this is the light song. There's going to be lights sung everywhere. How high is that? Or should I do a falsetto? I can't. Let's do a falsetto, and then I can convince a bunch of women to sing it later. Hey, would you mind if you would that? All right. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal rise. That's not the right harmony. That's not working. All right, so I did another one at some point, and I got to figure out if I can get that one again. I'll show you what it is. What is it? I'm not going to cheat. All right, so what was it? I can. What was it? It's not I can, is it? I can see you in the stars. That's what it is. I can see you in. There you go. I didn't do that. You didn't see that. I didn't do that earlier. Whatever. All right, so back to this guy. I can. That's better. Right. See you in the stars tonight. I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this calling as they witness the immortal rise. Lost in love and light. Hear this call. That's what we'll do. Those lyrics have to change, but that's how you do it on the spot. All right, no more excuses. Do 4 of those and do that one thing you hear. I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness the immortal rise. Lost in love and light. Hear this call. Race the finish line, Dave. Okay, go for it. Move that down. Do 3 more. Copy it into the other ones, and then do that thing that you hear, and then do the verses. Add the end. Put the bus compressor on it. I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness the immortal rise. Lost in love and light. Hear this call. Right? I can see you in the stars tonight, lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness the immortal rise. Lost in love and light. Hear this call. First one's call, but I like the idea really that the first one says ing and this one doesn't. Yeah, right. That's an excuse. All right, so we're just remembering it now. Right, back to the beginning. I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love. I can see you in the stars tonight. Lost in love and light. Hear this call as they witness erase this. We're going to go from the bar before. Let's go from here, from the bar before, get all 4 of them. All right, copy, and where's the next chorus? This way. Right there. Does it got that Control N thing? No, fuck you, preference. Right, save or else it's gonna crash. Right, okay. Okay, and there was a lot of echo on it, but we don't have time for that yet. So let's do the verse. All right, so pre-chorus. Stay through, stay on course, stay. All right, and so this has to be airy. All right, so. Stay on course, stay through wars, stay because you said you would. All right, let's do that. Sorry, I had to cheat there, guys. I got to kind of get past that. All right. Stay on course, stay through wars, stay because you said you would. Connection lost. All right, we'll do it again. All right, whatever. See, I don't care. Stay on course, stay through wars, stay because you said you would. Yeah, all right. Copy down. Stay on course, stay through wars, stay because you said you would. That's a little rough, Townsend. All right, go for that first one. Stay on course. All right, so let's back that up because the first stay on was okay. And let's use this, all right. So I'm sort of doing all these kind of multi-tracked ones, gives it some very forgiving aspects in this particular scenario. So we'll go with that. Stay on course, stay through wars, stay because you said you would. All right, see? This is how we do it in the big leagues, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do it because I don't have the right thing. Just fucking do it.
Just do it.
There's a new thing for Nike. Just fucking do it. In a sweatshop. Dicks. All right, so I'm wearing Nikes, by the way. endorsed by Nikes. Now I'm endorsed by the bank. That'd be nice. All right, so. I can't do that right now, so let's get the verses first. All right, so I'm just gonna do one and it's gonna suck. So, but at least you're gonna have a verse, all right?
Oh, anticipation of again. We fear all through the night until the morning comes and we fear the light.
Woo! All right. Why aren't you going back to the cursor? Do I have to do that every time? Fuck it, I will then. You can't stop me. Oh. All right, so let's throw that down. I'll put a ton of goo on it. As anticipation of the morning comes again, we fear all through the night. Then the morning comes and we feel the light. As distracted by the disconnected sign, Townsend stops, makes a small soliloquy unto himself, ignores the one down, and he does it from here. All right, go, buddy. As anticipation of the evening comes again, we fear all through the night till the morning comes and we fear the light. All right, fuck it. All right, I'm going to mark that down under that'll have to do. Okay, second verse. Come on, erase. I told you to erase, yet you're not because the keyboard is unconnected. That's okay. Second verse. I'll get it in a minute. All right. Anticipation of the evil inside that never arrived, and I'll feed it again, the fire burning inside. It's still not stopping. It's okay. Keyboard's out of luck. We're not though. We're gonna keep that. Save. First half, my fingers are numb. Okay. First half stuck, but I got the lyrics, which is interesting. Connected again, just in time to stop the Pro Tools. 12 minutes. Anticipation of an evil inside that never arrived. All right, that'll do. All right, can I get it here? Yeah, see? No, yes, okay, so it's going to slip mode. Let's get rid of that shit. And let's get rid of this shit. And let's get rid of this shit back here. We got to do the midsection. And I did do the Triton. I want to show you, though, because Rick got the Triton out for me, so I don't want to let that go. Let's compress the rat shit out of this guy, because that's how we do it in the little leagues, and then not learn to do it in the big leagues and continue and find yourself in the intermediate leagues and try and interpret it as being some sort of thing other than brute fucking luck. All right, so this here should now be compressed to shit. And it is. So let's see. Ah, it's not working. Okay. Anticipation of an evil inside. You want the choir to go, oh, did you hear that? And I'll feel again the fire burning inside. Well, we can't, so fuck it. So at the end here, we're going to do a screamy thing. Let's do that. All right, way we got the way. All right, let's do that. All right, so. Way we got the way. Way we got the way. The way we got the way. fuck it. All right, so that's not going to work a lot of it, but we can dip it in automation. We'll put an echo on it. That's how we roll. Okay, so let's put that back in. So the bass was doing something fucked in the midsection. It wasn't right. And we have to add another modulation there. So, all right, so way began the way. Try to reverb. Way began the way. See, that's the part where the bass is fucked. I should go back. What the hell is that? See, just give me the Pro Tools one. It's easy. I don't have to think about it. Reverb. Where's reverb? There. Good. Great. Now we'll put it on there. It always attenuates it by 4 dB. It's stupid. All right. There we go. We'll do some high pass. And let's see. We can automate this. Okay, so what was I thinking? I was thinking, I got 8 minutes, I gotta do the bass, and we gotta play it with the bus compressor on. So the bass here, where's the fucking bass? It is, I don't know where the bass is. Why is there always... That's a note, that's shit. Okay, so... Before that, actually. That's why you can actually even see it on the waveform. All right, so here. Right. Come on! Play! That's where it would be. That's what it should be. Way we got the way is right there. It's not working again. That's all right. We'll do it from here. Let's go from here. That's right. Way we got the way. It's not doing it. It's not. Come on. Copy. Fucking keyboard. All right. Okay. See. Oh, you bastard. Oh, don't see what you're doing right now? You're letting yourself get worked up. And as soon as that happens is when it all goes to shit. You got time. You got this. Don't. There we go. Okay. See? You didn't need to freak out. So now the last thing you need to do is you need to use this to zoom because that's not doing it. Okay, you need to double up that, and we need to do a reverb thing. We don't have time for the reverb thing. So add the guitar. So go back to your guitar track, your main one. There's no reason at this point to not do it on the main ones. You don't have time. So we're gonna go guitar, let's do Axe 3. And I will go back to this guy, and because I'm on wireless, I'm gonna switch back to C, which is the main one, and I should be up. Yes, I am, but I'm also up somewhere else, which means I got the vocals in record, because that would sound like the vocals to me, right? No? Where is it? Why is that doing it? It's because it should be A5, because you're on the bass patch. Go over to here, go to your heavy patch. How many more minutes you got? You got 6, okay. All right, so let's get that from the reverb thing. Nope, okay, do it this way. Right. Okay, there we go. All right, so going over to here. You got this, buddy. All right, second one, put in the Triton. I want to show them how the Triton works, but we don't have time. Go. All right, so back to here, double this. Explain the Triton while you're playing it. I want to put a big reverb thing here. Right, fade that. Okay, so with the Triton, guys, there's a Triton patch. It's a chord keyboard that I've had forever, and it's a big choir, big sort of like synthy choir patch that I've been using. It's an ancient sort of 80s thing. It sounds like every Van Halen record from about 86 to 92. I use it. I don't have time to show you because I want to play it. The song's 4 minutes long, so I'm going to add the Triton patch as if magically I had showed it to you, because I have strangely, could it possibly be on another playlist? It is. What do you know? Okay, so on the bus, the master bus here at the bottom, I'm using an instance of Easy Mix. They've got a mastering package that's really cool. Just sort of glues that snare in. You might have noticed that the snare is a little loud. And let's see, I don't want to bypass it. I want to make it unactive. Make active, that's it. So at the end there, I repeated the ending there. You guys ready to listen to this? You ready? All right, so at the end there, does it continue? Let's see. Yes, it does. Okay, so where's the Triton? Right there. Let's bring it way down. So hear how it sounds. All right, ready? There should be something that goes, hear this, and there's a one vocal picture in your mind that goes, oh, with tons of echo. Here we go. This song's called Stars with no click, you dick. All right. And thanks to Toontrack, thanks to Fractal, thanks to Framus, thanks to Zahn, thanks to Sandberg, thanks to Dunlop, thanks to D'Addario, thanks to TC, thanks to everybody, thanks to you. Check it out. Now suck it. 1 minute over. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this for so many years. I really mean it. I love doing this. Thank you so much. Thank you to all these companies that for some weird reason are supporting this stuff. Thank you. Thank you for supporting it. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, Toontrack. Thanks, everybody.
Now I have to ask you a question.
Go for it.
You want to take your headphones off?
Absolutely.
This makes me feel like you're listening to rock music
All
instead
right.
of talking. You want to sit on the couch?
Sure.
Come on,
All
have
right.
a nice seat.
Yeah.
Have a seat with Uncle Rick.
Sweet.
So,
Yeah.
this was the most realistic situation we could ever ask anyone to participate in. Let's start with
And then some.
Well, let's start with just some things that I'm sure everybody knows, right? So we have this Bluetooth keyboard that's connected to the Mac over here,
Yeah.
right? So these cameras are wireless and via Bluetooth.
Yeah.
So you have all these signals conflicting.
There it is.
And it keeps disconnecting.
Dude.
Do you use that as an excuse to stop? Of course not.
course not.
These guys, just so you know, just a little behind the scenes stuff, they're scrambling around looking for another keyboard for you. And I'm in the other room like, no, he's going to be fine. He's going to tough through it. He's not taking the easy way out.
So good.
And then you pick up this horribly shitty.
Yeah.
The Epiphone hasn't been
little-
tuned ever,
it's
but
little
it's
rough.
so indicative of what
Yeah.
you might find in someone's bedroom studio.
Yeah.
Didn't stop you. You just kept going. So what we noticed, right? So everyone on Twitter
Yeah.
is freaking out over this. It's
Okay.
amazing. Everyone's watching Twitch, Twitter. Everyone's freaking out. They can't thank you enough.
Oh, wicked.
Like if you could listen, that's the world applauding for you right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, here there it is.
Crickets. Yeah.
So, to me, the only question on my mind, we'll get to some other stuff. We've got some great questions. So, what is it like emotionally for you right now to have shared an incredibly intimate process with the entire world?
Well, I mean, I've been doing this for so many years that there's really a part of me that thinks that by sort of hoarding this stuff, you're not doing anybody any favors. Like the idea that I'm hoping to achieve as a musician and as a participant in all of this is I want to help, right?
Right.
And it's like what I do, it's just a procedure. And I think like the problems that you encounter with it, I mean that's life, man. You know? And it's like to let those things stop you, I mean you can, and I have, but it's also maybe indicative of how lucky I am to make music. I mean, life is, man, you know, like past couple of weeks has been brutal, right?
Yeah, totally.
So we're so fortunate to be able to do this.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be anything that can slow you down. And I mean, also if you feel like you can't solve those things, I mean, I think you may be giving yourself a bit of a disservice, right?
Well, and again, you proved. I mean, it's one thing to talk, but you walk the walk. I mean, you went in, you didn't have all the plugins that you would normally have. Even though you had your template, I'd say your template was functioning for you tonight at like 75 to 80% capacity because there were some weird things.
Sure.
You know, because we've been here since this morning, sussing things out and making things work. I'm looking at your face and you just look like you gave birth. You're like, okay, it's over. Thank God.
yeah.
And I will never do this again, is what I also...
But 2 hours is pretty quick, man.
It is.
Yeah.
And what's funny, though, is when you watch this back,
Yeah.
you're going to see this moment where you must have glanced up at the clock.
Totally.
And you're like, oh,
Now
that's
we
kind
gotta
of a
go.
holy shit moment. Here,
Yeah.
let's just... Blah, and you, in your mind, what people were noticing, what people kept talking about online was you still seemed, even with the pace sped up, to have this laser focus on the order in which you needed to execute things.
Right.
And you never, and this came up a lot online too, you never second guessed, and you mentioned that at the beginning.
Totally.
You never second guessed any of the decisions you made. Even if you knew in your mind, maybe you made an earmark, I need to come back and do this, you
That's
kept
it.
going. And
That's it.
how important is that part of the process to you?
Oh, it's essential because I think, and when I say I don't second guess, it's not because everything that happens obviously is right. It's just that it's such a structured environment that you don't get to improvise.
Right.
And I love to improvise. And I think a lot of the happy accidents that occur as a result of just kind of seeing where it goes, sometimes it leads you down a road that doesn't make any sense. But a lot of times I find that just trusting what you're hearing and sort of if what's going on in your head is a bar ahead, you listen to that and you go for it. And you notice a lot of times my hands don't get there, but there's an objective. And I think being led by your intuition is essential. Because other than that, this kind of heavy music and a lot of this stuff, oh, it just crashed. Yay, we made it. Whoop, whoop. But a lot of times this heavy music, it becomes so rigid that there's no place to sort of exercise the real musical part of this process, which is allowing it to transform or do whatever it's going to do, right?
So if you were at home right now, and let's just
Sure.
pretend this didn't happen on camera, and everything went the exact same way you finished this.
Sure.
What would tomorrow look like for you when you revisited this, or when would you revisit this track
I
after you
wouldn't,
laid
I wouldn't
it down?
revisit it
You
for
wouldn't?
a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this would just like you got the idea out. You
Yeah.
feel like you had mentioned for you, it's a lot about getting it out of your system. You would feel like at the end of this, I'm good for now.
Totally. And I think a lot of it is, there's a period there when we first had kids where I thought, well, I'm not going to do music anymore. You know, it's like I'm not smoking weed, I'm not drinking. I feel like my creative process has morphed in a way that I'm not familiar with.
I'm not laughing at you.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to
I'm
remind
laughing
you,
with you.
you just put kids in the same category. So I'm smoking
Yeah.
weed and drinking.
Yeah,
not
having
doing
kids,
that
weed,
anymore.
all these
Kids.
crazy things.
Oof.
Yeah. But I mean, I think the thing with it though is at that point I thought, no, I'm just going to stop. I'm going to go get a job. But the way that my creativity tends to articulate itself is unconsciously, and so I found myself haunted in a way by songs, and the ways that I can move on from them is to just do that, and then as I go, I make mental notes that are really specific, like, okay, well, this part I hear this, like, hear them go, ah, I hear that, but like, ah, and I'm like, okay, that has to go in there. And then the second verse, I'm burning inside, and then it's but maybe it's like a gospel thing or something. But a lot of times, because I've been doing it for a long time, there's people just like, well, the stuff that Dev does is like really cheesy, and sometimes I feel that way too. But I think a lot of it for me is you follow it, and then through those moments where maybe a song isn't as like indicative of where I'm at. Like, is that where I'm at? I don't know. But it was there.
Right.
So I did it. And then by doing it, I don't have to think about that anymore. And it maybe makes room for what's behind it. And then what's behind it may be something that is sort of encased in a type of fear that requires you to sort of, for me at least, to confront my awkwardness. And a lot of that is just going, just do it, Dev. You want to have a gospel choir on? Put a gospel choir. You want to put a symphony on? Put a symphony on it. And then after that, I may find like, I just love bass so much, man. It's like,
Clearly.
oh my God. And it's like, but it's until such time that I can find a group of people that are like.
There were, just so you know, a lot of comments on your tone and the Zon tonight as well. A lot of people
First day
chiming
with
in.
it.
Literally arrived, folks, this morning here at Toontrack North America at about 10:30.
And it was in a different tuning. I mean, it's like, again, it's like the Zon and the Sandberg stuff. I don't know if you've seen the Sandberg stuff too. It's like, I got to give shout outs to both of them because in a way there's,
Sandberg?
Yeah. In a way,
Beautiful.
a lot of what I do is based in duality, right? So I like the idea of something that's kind of old style and something that's really hyper modern, right? So between those two, I just love that instrument, man. That's all I want to do. And as a father,
You talk about it a
now-
lot, bass.
Yeah,
I mean,
love
you really are loving the
it.
bass.
Love it. I think the best bass solo is just stop playing for 4 bars. But I like where it sits on the beat. And I mean, I'm still practicing. I practice every day, and I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And when I am there, I'll find the people that I'm supposed to play with, right? So
Funkadelic, probably.
Yeah. Oh God, no.
So
Funky Dev.
I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah,
So
right.
there was a lot of questions, all in the same vein, and I think you've addressed this before. We talked about it a little bit, but I mean, I'll preface it with this: the minute you plugged in and started the song, the interweb erupted with just how dialed in your tone and your guitar structure sonically was.
Sure.
And I had, again, you'll remember, if you can remember, 2 hours ago said, how important is that polished sound from the get-go to you? And obviously that makes all the difference in the world as you're performing.
Totally.
But we still, and again, this is something we kind of, Toontrack, we hear a lot about this too, and I'm sure you do too, is there always seems to be the component of, okay, you did this here, and you did this way, but when you really do it, or when you take it to the real studio and do it, what are you going to do different? And my question to you is, I mean, obviously, everybody loves the real studio. If you can afford to go to a real studio and make music that way, it's a beautiful way to make music.
Yeah.
Does everything always go from your studio to a real studio?
Yeah, this if I was to finish this, I would take that
Okay.
to the studio.
Okay.
And the parts that I didn't script the vocals, I would just edit them.
Right.
And, like, the second part shouldn't be lost in love and light. As I was listening through, I was like, it lost as love arrives is what it should be. So I would add that,
Right.
and I would crossfade it, and I'd get rid of all the noise between it, and then I'd print it, And like the guitar stuff as well, I work with Fractal and have for so many years now, and it's like, I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I want, but it's like the thing that I've always liked is a kind of synthy tone, with a lot of echo, and like when it comes to like a clean tone, which I didn't get a chance to sort of show what those pickups can do and like a clean sound. I really like the sort of old school Fender vibe. But for heavy stuff, I really like hyper modern. When I listened to Judas Priest as a kid, I really like KK Downing's tone, and he always had like a direct signal with it, and that's what I like, right?
Well, and as you're recording direct, and again, that's a process in and of itself, because there's a leap of faith there with the plugin and everything else. But
Totally.
what was your process in determining? I think a lot of people idealize recording direct, and a lot of guitar players do, but they don't really realize sometimes what a big influence the guitar's pickups obviously have on that direct sound.
God, yeah.
So explain. I mean, you've got this new pickup coming out with Fishman,
yeah.
and obviously, so you have your guitar, your pickup, you have the Axe effects, you have your
sound.
pedal board, you have your Easy Mix presets.
Yep.
How long, if you had to guess, would you say that it took Devin Townsend to really come to peace and dial in his ideal tone, the tone you use today? How long of a process was that?
It's never going to be done. I mean, I'm not finished yet. It's like, I changed the kick drum this morning, right?
No.
I mean, it's an ongoing process, and I think what defines my work, if I may be so bold, is it is a work in progress. There are some friends of mine that are in bands that are established that have had an identity since the very beginning, and in a sense, I'm not envious of that, but I wildly respect it, because they've got the same logo. It's the sound. They just evolve it, and then by the time that they've been doing it for as long as I have, their identity as a band is so solid that it's fascinating, because it's like, that's them.
Right.
There's no question. But for me, it's the exploration also plays into that sort of sense of improvisation, where it's like, well, where's it going to go? Like, I don't know where it's going to go. And I like allowing myself the opportunity of following. And luckily, I've never been super successful, so I haven't had to follow that.
Right.
If strapping or if DTP or if anything that I'd done, Casualties even, had gotten hyper successful, there would have been a sort of pressure to repeat that. But as it is always kind of the same thing, it grows slowly, but it's like a bunch of really dedicated people that allow me to continue. I feel that as long as I'm following it in the path of least resistance, then whatever comes out of me is meant to come out of me. And that identity has been morphing in such a way that a morphing identity has strangely become my identity. Yeah.
We had a bunch of questions too about your writing process, and a lot of them focused on, do you always write the same way? Meaning, do you write the music first and then do you come up with a vocal? Does it start with a vocal idea? I'm sure it's different, but I mean,
every time.
In the instance of this song, was it the vocal that came first? Was it the music that came first?
I think it was a riff. I think I was going to show you something here. As I was sitting around in the hotel, I was trying to do something else, and I came up with the da-da and ba-da and ba-da, and then all of a sudden the vocal line seemed to come along with that, right? But it depends. Like, sometimes I remember Effervescent, the first song on Epicloud, was a dream, and it was in my head. It was like, oh, it's a choir, and they're singing that Effervescent.
And you recorded that in Sweden, right? That was a choir from Sweden.
No, they did the bridge on Casualties of Cool, and but then I just woke up and said, okay, well, and I'll show you. This is the reason why I grabbed this, is because my Quick Voice is just a free app. This is how I capture ideas. So I'll get these and I'll send them to myself. Like, I don't know, here's something. Let's see if this makes any sense. You can hardly hear it, but.
That's good.
Right?
So you mean you're like a normal human being?
Yeah.
You write like normal people.
Then
You sing
some,
things,
right.
and
Yeah,
it's not all easy.
No. Well, I mean, I think it's like anything. It's like, you see, if there's someone who's maybe in their early 20s that see us doing this and all this. I mean, I've been doing this for 25 years.
Right.
And I think that unless you aren't putting in the appropriate amount of effort, after 25 years, you're going to learn processes and techniques that allow you to articulate yourself in ways that are more efficient. And so a lot of that is what has happened to me. And I would suspect that anybody who does this for a certain amount of time, specifically when you're on the backs of each other.
Right.
You know, a lot of these engineering things that I learned and how to find the frequency ranges where we'll all work together, it's not because I magically stumbled upon it. It's because I worked with great people for years. people that were better than me,
Right.
that were also not so hung up on their own trip that they didn't want to share. You know, they're like, this is how I do it. I'm like, how do you get that to work like that? And they're like, we do this. And to have that allows the whole scene to grow. I'm a part of it, obviously. And what I do is, I mean, I really like it. It's what I do, but I'm under no illusions that it's anything other than just an expression from my daily life. And so I hope that people that see what I do and the tones that I use and the equipment that I use and know that the reason I'm using it is because after years, this is why I need it. Then maybe they can do that and make stuff that's beautiful, and, you know, we can all have new shit to listen to. I don't listen to my own music when I get time off. You know, I know. That's it. I found something. I listen to Spotify, right? Because that's what I do, man. I'm like, hey, if none of us are getting paid, then might as well listen to all these cool tunes.
We had talked a little bit about kind of wrestling with the inspiration, right? So is there, first of all, and then when? So is there a point in the process like tonight, let's say no one's watching, where you think you have a great idea, when you start to put it down and as you move through it, nothing musically seems to be gelling, you hate it instantly,
all the time,
and you think, you burn it, you just walk away from it.
All
you
the
put
time.
this much effort into walk away.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like that idea. It's like then you're not hung up on the effort as being what defines whether or not it's worth your time. Because I think if that's where you base it on, like, well, I'm not going to invest my energy into this because it would mean that I put myself out for no reason. Well, I mean, ultimately, not much means anything.
Right.
So letting that go, I think, is really healthy. To put that amount of effort into it and then just be like, you know what, it's not that good.
Yeah.
But perhaps that's why my process has become streamlined to the point where at least I can hear a relatively polished version of it quickly. And that way, I can usually tell pretty quickly whether or not it's worth taking to the studio.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and along with that, we had a lot of questions tonight about during your process, when you sit down to write a song like this again, do you instantly, based on all of the things you might be working on, whether it's DTP or casualties or even anything new, do you say, as you're visualizing the song, this is a DTP song or this is a do you go in knowing what vehicle you're going to apply the music to? You do. So if you had to apply anything to this song, would you say this is a DTP song? Okay. Very in that vein.
Yeah. It's like, I tend to process things in terms of colors and shapes and things like that. So it's like there's a blue thing that happens that I always think, okay, well, that's DTP. Or,
Okay.
You know, purple was deconstruction, and red was strapping, and, you know, and like black and white is casualties. And it's like there's elements of it all that seems to work with that. And I see threes as triangles, and fours as circles, and eights as circles, and things like this. And therefore, I think it's pretty clear to me just by how I emotionally react to things, what its objective needs to be, for one, and then also where its home would be if it turns out to be something of value.
Okay. Last question, because we got to wrap it up for the evening. Let the kiddies get back to sleep so they can go to work tomorrow.
Sure, yeah.
You've done it. Toontrack Challenge. First participant.
Awesome.
First guy. You
Awesome.
walked in.
Thanks, man.
I can tell you from the response we've seen online that the entire musical community that tuned in tonight, and there were thousands of people worldwide watching, were inspiring. We're inspired, and we're really, really invested in your process. So looking at it now, you've only been away from it now for 20 minutes. How do you think it went versus what you thought it would be when you got here?
That's fine. It's good. Yeah. I mean, that
is the most Canadian answer you've ever given me.
It's fine.
That's good.
Oh, everything's pretty good, bud. Yeah, I'm gonna go out the
Lousy
back.
keyboard kept
work on the back.
disconnecting.
Kept going out. You saw that, bud? That was crazy. That was just.
amazing.
I didn't like that at all. I was mildly upset about that, Burr.
I'm gonna write someone.
It's great. I mean, I'm up for the challenge. I like
Right.
challenges. It's cool to be in a position where you can fail. Because again, going back to the first question, or one of the first questions we had, that's how you learn.
Right.
By putting yourself in a position where 50% of that or more is a high probability you're going to fall on your face. Because if you don't, then you know where your parameters lie. And at that point, it makes it a lot easier to be fearless when it comes to your process, because you're just like, what's the worst that can happen?
Sure.
I can fuck it up.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time, it won't be the last. So So I think in the scheme of it, it turned out well. I mean, technical things aside, but even those, I mean,
That's life, like you said.
It
That
is
happens
life.
in everybody's studio.
everybody.
All the time.
All the time.
Loose cable,
Totally.
bad grounding. We
Totally.
had it all today.
Totally.
So I'll finish with this. You had mentioned earlier, someone had asked what sounds you were using in Superior.
Sure.
And you had built a kit. Obviously, you had X drums, and we looked at it this morning. We were working
Sure.
with it.
Yeah.
And we had mentioned that he was going to make it available for you, and he is.
Sure.
We're going to make it available as a producer preset. We've got to get some things together on our side, so don't beat Uncle Dev up about it. He's going to turn it over to Toontrack. Don't start tweeting, "Where's my drums, Baldy?" We're going to take
Where's
care
Baldo?
of it. Yeah.
That's where you're gonna find him.
Wah, wah.
Yeah.
We're gonna take care of it, but we're gonna get everything squared away, and when we have it configured and packaged in a way that you can utilize it, we'll be making it available to everyone. So I'm gonna go out on a limb, and I'm going to thank Devin Townsend on behalf of the entire interweb musical community, Toontrack. Again, big shout outs to all the partners.
Totally.
Everybody that helped out and provided this experience. I mean, we're very grateful. It's been a really magical evening. So it's Chicago. It's 9:20, which means in Europe and the rest of the world it's like tomorrow already. And many of you have been with us from the beginning. We can't thank you enough.
Thanks to the camera crew too.
Yeah,
You guys-
the audio guys, the camera
Thank you very
guys,
much, yeah.
everybody doing everything except for Bill.
and Bill. No,
we
not
don't.
Bill.
No, we don't want to thank Bill. Bill gets a lot of thanks in other parts of
Bill
life.
gets it.
Oh.
Both these guys got beards. Yeah,
Wah,
I'd like
wah.
to echo that. Thank you very much to all the partners and to Toontrack specifically, and you guys. I hope that this is of some value to you, and I hope you can utilize that to make some awesome music because, you know, we're all in it to try and better each other. So let's keep going, guys.
My name is Rick. I work for Toontrack. We did this for you. We want to thank Devin Townsend. We want to thank Mainstream Media. We want to thank everybody involved in this. Have a great evening, and we look forward to the next one. Devin's going to play us out. Like, he's just going to play bass. And then eventually, probably in the YouTube clip, like, the Toontrack logo will fade in, and my voice will come down, and this will be really smooth when it's actually back online.
Night Court.
Yeah. You need to play Welcome Back, Cotter.
I don't
Not Welcome
remember
Back,
it.
Cotter.
Don't remember it.
Barney Miller. You don't remember Barney Miller?
Didn't get it up in Canada.
This is the worst
Our
ending to
igloos
any
wouldn't
show
pick it up,
ever.
man. Igloos wouldn't pick it
Worst ending ever.
Oh, can I show you? You must have seen it. The Canadian American Coalition. Should I
here
show it
we
or no?
go.
No. All right, forget it. I'll put it online. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Rick. Cheers, buddy.
Have a
See you.
good night. Let's go get something. We're gonna get some grub.